All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on second down. Foles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
It's coming this way, coming this way. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Hey, silent one.
51, Mike.
Here we go.
Now Foles. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
You gonna see me in your nightmare.
Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Texans' 41-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Foles. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Leonard Fournette. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here's Foles. And this is caught, that they say, out of bounds. It would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It could change momentum in a big way.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 35.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Watch the twitch.
On 2nd down, it's Grant. He'll have a first down inside the 10. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. On 2nd down now. It's Campbell. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, let's go one more. Go. 51 to Mike.
2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Back to mine. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. You ain't got nothing.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 25 yards that time.
Jacksonville, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
We're scoreless after 1. 2nd quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go. I got you.
That's right, baby.
Fournette, a first down carry. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Yes.
On 2nd and 9, Foles nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Check.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 47-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Check, 43.
Watson now to throw. Flush to his right. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Hey, switch gears. Watch the eye. Move.
They'll run on first down. It's Campbell, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Achilles tracks. Let's go. Kill.
24.
Here's Campbell. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He finds Hopkins complete, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Here's Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Miles Jack with a sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Watson. Forced out to his left. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Mike. Yeah, I got you. 25, check 25.
On first down, Grant. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Watson. Going deep downfield for Ross. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Watson now. Gonna throw on 3rd and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kenny Stills, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
51 the mic, boys, 51. Get that quarterback, D-line.
Greystone, travel.
Quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Watch that.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Foles. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Ross on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Watson off play action. Buying time to his left. Oh, he finds his running back open downfield. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On the run, it's Campbell. Calais Campbell on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
On second down, it's Grant. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Corey Grant. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. Back
now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Easy.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. Here we go. 51 to Mike.
They'll look to throw here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. Check. Hey, watch it. Watch the safety creep.
They'll run on 1st down. Grant. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson, and the catch made by Hopkins. And he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
First and goal, Houston.
He's coming, double up. Check 13.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They go back to Grant, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Corey Grant with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good, and that will extend this big lead.
Texans 31, Jaguars nothing.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Fournette. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now back to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11.
Mike 55! Mike 55!
In your face.
Mike 55.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Grant, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And Watson's going to throw it here. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Watson on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Texans.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Brings up second and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
We got to step it up. Check nickel.
Throwing again is Watson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
He's checking. Crash. By 5.
A shotgun snap for Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Jordan Thomas. A.J. Boyer on the coverage.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it is incomplete.
Let's go.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as